Each year, thousands of immigrants attend the Carlos Rosario School. After an immersion in English language proficiency skills and workforce development training, they lead ready to enter into family-sustaining careers, climb career ladders, and become part of the American fabric.
She's just an extremely classy lady.
She is passionate about her work.
She likes everything to be excellent.
She just is unstoppable.
She really has an aura.
She cares deeply for this community.
She is deeply loving.
She is incredibly smart.
She has an amazing tenacity.
She's an awesome, bigger-than-life kind of character.
She just does not give up.
Es una de los mejores líderes de esta comunidad.
She's a social engineer.
She's the Mother Teresa of adult education of Washington, D.C.
Sonia is the mother of us all at Carlos Rosario.
For the past 40 years, Sonia Gutierrez, a Puerto Rican-born educator and forward thinker, has built her life around the Carlos Rosario School. Throughout this journey, she has taken on the role of school principal, counselor, advocate, community organizer, and currently president of the organization.
Carlos Rosario is the place where all immigrants come to realize their American dream. When they come here and they have nothing, they don't speak English or anything, and I see them in a few years and they speak the language and they got their GED and they become citizens and they get good jobs. There's no money that can pay me for that satisfaction that the students give me. During my 40 years in this school, over 60,000 immigrants have come to our school. Immigrants of all nationalities. And they work together and they become friends and they become like families. I grew up in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I have a sister, Miriam, and my brother, Junior. We were a very close family. I just have the most wonderful memories of growing up in Old San Juan. After college, I decided to come and visit my friend in Washington, D.C., and I fell in love with Washington, D.C.
Rosario conoció a Sonia y lo trajo a la comunidad. Ahí lo conocí a Sonia y yo por primera vez.
Carlos Rosario was the one who really was pushing for real identity of who the Latino community was in Washington at the time. And Sonia was one of the major followers of Carlos.
Sonia was working with Marcelo Fernandez and Pedro Luján and so many other folks in making sure that services were being developed in the community.
They understood very well that unless they made politicians aware that this was a real issue, nothing would happen.
The issues that the community were dealing with were the need for jobs, the need to learn English as a second language, the need to continue their education.
Sonia played a critical role in the formation of not only the Mayor's Office on Latino Affairs, the Commission on Latino Community Development.
La población latina comenzó a aumentar, entonces ya se formó un centro para enseñar inglés a los latinos. Se hizo PEGLA. Sonia llegó a ser directora y progresó esto enormemente.
As the Latino community in Washington grew rapidly, so did PEGLA, and in 1974 the program joined the D.C. public school system. 4 years later, in 1978, PEGLA merged with the Americanization School and became the Gordon Adult Education Center. The merger of PEGLA and the Americanization program gave the school an explosive growth in the 1980s. The U.S. Department of Education honored the school as a model for adult education programs in the country.
Entonces, el mismo gobierno comenzó también querían poner otro nombre. Pero Sonia dijo que no, tenía que ser Carlos Rosario Center. Sonia fue una persona que luchó para poner ese nombre
But despite being a national model, in 1996, the Carlos Rosario School was shut down due to budget cuts when the DC government went through a fiscal crisis.
We fought very hard. We would go down to the Department of Ed and express why we felt the school was necessary.
It was a very sad, bitter pill when the Carlos Rosario was disbanded out of Gordon.
The Georgetown facility was shut down, completely closed.
It was a death to our community.
Oh, it was such a challenging time in Sonia's life. Not only was her school closed, but also her son had been in an accident, so she was experiencing personal hardship and crisis at the same time.
Her beloved students were on the street with no educational opportunities as adults. She had no staff, she had no equipment, she had her files. That's about it.
At that point, we were meeting in the basement of her house.
I had been sent to see what the Meyer Foundation could do to help. We gave Sonia a little bit of money, and she moved it first to Chinatown.
And then you went to 2 churches.
And then we went into Lincoln.
We even used bail.
We were operating out of 6 different locations.
Until finally, with the great help of Jim Graham.
I said, what about this building? Could you make this work?
I remember that day. She walked into this abandoned building with broken windows and no systems working, and she said, this is the place.
You know, don't think for a moment that this thing happens with a sign like signing a check. You know, I mean, there were huge hurdles that had to be overcome, political, governmental, bureaucratic, but she stayed with it, and it happened.
One of the most satisfying moments was when the building opened here, you know, and just to see this state-of-the-art facility and to know what many people had to go through to make it happen, and particularly Sonia.
Look at what she's created. When you walk through that school, you go, wow, that's an accomplishment.
This gorgeous, beautiful facility that carries the spirit of Sonia Gutierrez.
You go inside and you get a good taste of what 21st century education is all about.
We have literacy skills, citizenship, high school diploma preparation, those foundational skills that students need to survive in this country. And then a second component is our workforce development training program, which equips them with certifications in industries that are high growth industries. And then the third component is comprehensive supportive services for our students. There's a mandate for the staff that they go all out for our students.
The Carlos Rosario is a special school in many ways.
It is a national model in adult education.
It has been a long struggle, but one of what I would consider the top charter school adult education program in the United States.
We went from seeing her in the basement of her home to now a state-of-the-art facility that is a model for the nation. That trajectory speaks volumes about the work and commitment and the leader that Sonia Gutierrez is.
Sonia is a force of nature.
She's a force of nature.
They invented the term force of nature to describe Sonia Gutierrez.
She's an amazing role model.
Sonia has this ability to connect with everyone at every level.
People throughout the community and outside of the Latino community look up to Sonia.
She is able to really make you feel good about being part of her cause. I think that helps her bring a lot of angels behind her.
To know Sonia Gutierrez is to know a selfless person who lives her life every semester through her students.
She knows that they don't have any place to go and get what they are getting here.
Sharing my mom with basically the whole community, it was a blessing because I got to see how people should be treated, how people want to be treated and deserve to be treated. My mom is a mother to thousands of people.
I was in a car accident in 1996. I was in a coma for 15 days. And just hearing the stories from my friends, you know, that were there and how she was there, you know, sun up to sun down. She didn't leave the hospital.
If I go out with her to a restaurant,
It's a joke almost.
No matter where we're at, somebody's going to know my mom.
You can't sit down without having people come over and be like, oh, you know, Mrs. Gutierrez.
I was the manager of Sequoia. The entire kitchen staff just, buckled to their knees when she walked in. They couldn't believe she was my mom.
And it makes me feel good that so many people appreciate her and love her.
Mom, thank you very much for all the years that you've dedicated to me. I'm very, very, very proud of you for all of you've accomplished. Congratulations on your 40 years. I love you so much.
I am so proud of you, and I just want to say congratulations on this 40th anniversary. Thank you for being a great mom, for always being there for me, and you're a great grandmother, and I love you.
I see Sonia 5 years from now doing exactly what she's doing today, advocating for the least, the last, and the lost of our community.
I see her in the hallways of the new building, surrounded by the people that love her.
That's her life. It's her life. And she's so lucky God has rewarded her in that fashion.
All they want to do is they want to achieve the American dream. They want to learn the language, they want to study, they want to get a good job, they want to pay taxes. And I have done everything I could for them. I will do whatever it takes to keep this school running and to keep helping immigrants achieve their American dream, because they are worth it.
Muchas gracias, Sonia Gutierrez.
Thank God she's here again, and we need a leader like her.
This school would not be a success without Sonia.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you, Sonia Gutierrez.
Nunca la vamos a olvidar. La queremos mucho. Un abrazo fuerte.
Sonia Gutierrez, I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Muchas gracias. Thank you for changing my life.